Yeah.
Right. Enough silliness. Well, Happy New Year, I guess. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not sure. Is it a Happy New Year? What are your plans for the new year, Stephen? What is going to be happening?
Well, I think I'm just going to get fitter and healthier and spread the word a bit more. Try and be a bit more common sense.
Let's see. What word is that?
What word is that?
That we're spreading.
The carnivore word. I think that eating properly, species appropriate diet and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And trying to realize that even though we put the message out there and possibly gets to the point where you feel like you're being boring, you then watch something like Lane Norton absolutely destroy the HbA1c and not understand it. And you think, wow, I've got to keep saying this, even though I've been saying it for 6 years, because it's the wrong information is still out there, you know.
That's right.
And they just can't get that. The fundamental flaw is they use a variable as a constant. That's it. They just can't get that. You know, lifespan of a red blood cell is variable, but the calculation used by the labs is a constant. Completely and utterly wrong. I've got a study, by the way, which says red blood cell lifespan, a new model termed adjusted HbA1c, has been developed to address the limitations of the laboratory HbA1c by incorporating red blood cell lifespan into its calculations. This model helps account for the individual variations in RBC turnover, which can be misleading and potentially affect diabetes treatment and decisions. And there it is. I can share that with people if they want that, but it is one of many articles from laboratories that they're looking at the red blood cell testing and they know that the HbA1c is unreliable. It's there in black and white. We know it because, well, I knew it 6 years ago when I joined Sean Baker at his wonderful MeetRx community. And I used to do the diabetes meetings for him every Thursday, and we'd have people with their continual glucose monitors saying, Stephen, you know a bit about bloods. Why does my continual glucose monitor say that I've got a fantastic average blood glucose, but my HbA1c doesn't seem to match it? And it's simply, in most cases, I would say 99.9% of the time, down to the red blood cell life. Simple as that. Because when I did it as a private blood tester myself and actually did the blood draws, if someone was hemolytic anemic, they would have an artificially low HbA1c. Absolutely known. Everything is known. But Lane Norton doesn't seem to know, even though that's probably knowledge from 20 years ago. And he was calling glycation glycosylation, which is two completely different things. Glycation is not enzymatic. And he kept saying glycosylation, which is deliberate. It's enzymatic and is meant to happen, like on the glycophorin A on a red blood cell, which has some sugar attached. That's meant to happen. He doesn't know that, so he shouts his mouth off.
But Lane Norton doesn't also know that mass is not conserved, that the first law of thermodynamics doesn't say that, never has said that, neither does it even imply that. Neither does he know that a PhD is not and should not be awarded to a person who does some coursework and a dissertation, apparently. Neither does he know the difference between ratus and Homo sapiens sapiens. Neither does he know that it's not a reasonable thing to do for a reasonable human being to leave his pregnant partner for another woman, apparently.
That's pretty bad, that.
Neither does he know, apparently, that being an arrogant, ignorant, mental midget is not really an appealing personal attribute. Neither is 50 billion jump cuts for a single fucking sentence. Anyway, I'm over it, I think.
Yes.
New year. We can move on now. Sorry, Stephen. Go on.
Well, you know, and you've just said it. I mean, he is listened to by a lot of people, and he shouldn't be, because he doesn't know any facts. I mean, I know this. I've been in the lab. I've actually seen the machine. I know how it's measured. I know what it does. I don't think they could even actually say what actually does the measurement and how it's arrived at, or the calculation. But when you do a polite message to say, like, for instance, Mike Fave, people keep telling me I should watch his video, so I did, and it's actually laughable. I put in the comments, I'm happy to have a live debate with you. I'd only do live, by the way, because that lot tends to edit stuff and try to change the story. And I would debate with him, and I just got a big diatribe back from him. Oh, you're going to be nasty. You're going to be horrible. Have you read these studies? The thing is, those studies are totally irrelevant if your beginning premise is wrong. If your premise is that we can use the HbA1c in all these instances, but actually the number you arrive at is incorrect.
Mike Fave is another arrogant little boy, though.
He doesn't want to know, does he? Yeah.
No. At the end of the day, what Mike Fave needs to understand is that Mike Fave's area of expertise, Mike Fave's training is in registered nursing, not in biochemistry at all. And what he should do is go and clean the fucking bedpans, frankly. Because that's one of the tasks of a nurse. John, thank you for the €10. We do appreciate that. What plant foods would be the least toxic for someone with Hashimoto and seborrheic dermatitis? I'm carnivore, but just want to know what I could add on. Fuck's sake! Stephen, I can't even bother answering this. Would you like to deal with it? Well, clearly it's going to be one of those days already. It's only 7:03 a.m. on my clock, and already we've got people saying, what plants can I eat?
Right.
We do appreciate the €10, but for fuck's sake.
Yes, the €10 is always nice. Well, if you want the least toxic food, then don't include plants. Sorry if that sounds, I'm sorry if that sounds a bit harsh, especially as you've done a super chat. But really, that's the wrong way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like saying, I'd like to have a drink. Richard Smith does a great analogy. He says, if you've got a glass like this and it's full of poison, would you drink it? No. And, I think this is great that he's come up with this. Or what about if you had a little bit of poison and everything else was fantastic, would you drink it? Well, of course you wouldn't.
No.
And I think Richard hit the nail on the head there, that these plants may have some things, but everything else that's bad about them outweigh that. So I can't really recommend any plants. I wouldn't recommend any at all.
Yeah. Ignore my grumpy, sweary act, John, by the way. It is just an act for clicks. I'm probably going to pivot at some point. Maybe this year I'll stop doing it, but it seems that my audience will only watch if I do that. So, I don't know. I can't win. Damned if I do and damned if I don't. Mostly just damned. But that's okay. Somebody has to be, isn't it? We all have our crosses to bear. All right. What other questions are there? Any questions? I don't know.
Why are you grumpy? Come on, let's be honest. Why are you really grumpy?
Why am I grumpy? Okay. The reasons I am grumpy are the constant, unending stream of arrogant, ignorant, Dunning-Kruger suffering fucktards that come online, making themselves out to be some kind of an expert, saying the dumbest shit I've heard since Adam was in short pants, and them getting hundreds of thousands of subs for doing it, and people listening to it. Or decent, hard-working individuals like Stephen and myself struggle and battle for the clickbait attention, if you like, or the views or the notoriety that we frankly richly deserve vastly more than these absolute turds.
Right.
That's it, in a nutshell.
Don't beat about the bush, mate. Tell me.
I'll tell you how I really feel. That's what it is. It gets to a point where it gets fucking old, frankly.
It is annoying.
So do I. Slowly. Not as old as you, me old mucker, but you're probably much more... you're certainly a lot fitter than I am, because I've actually let that go in the last few years while I've been struggling to make a living out of being a social media influencer. But this year, one of the things I'm going to do is take care of that. I'm going to rebuild some function and basic muscle strength and, all of that kind of stuff. So watch the space on that.
John's added another 5 to your coffers there.
Good one. Hasn't come up yet on the screen, but let's see.
Maybe it's for me.
Oh, there it is. There we go.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, as I say, just roll with the punches a bit. It's all for entertainment purposes. But seriously, don't eat plants. If you want some variety, different meats, eggs, whatever. Thank you for the 0.000166 BTCs, whoever's just sent that. Appreciate that very much. There, that's where it is. For those that don't know how to do it, that's the QA code. That's the address that you can send Bitcoins, Satoshis to, and they'll go in the coffers so that Ted can live in the fashion to which he's become accustomed. He's very expensive to keep as Ted, to be fair.
Well, he has extravagant tastes, doesn't he?
He does.
Isn't he a lord? Is he a lord? Or a field marshal or something?
Well, Ted is a lord, legally, actually, via the English system. And there's nothing you can do about it. He owns land in Scotland. Legally. In the Highlands. That makes him a lord. He bought it for £49.99 at one stage. He's also a member of the royal family of the independent sovereign nation of Pimbatia. He's king of the bears.
It's easy, really.
And he's also, he's a number of things as Ted, frankly, including, as usual, as we speak, he's face down on the bloody desk. He must have had a big night last night. I didn't know anything about it myself. So there it is. Yes. All right. Didn't mean to derail the line of conversation there, Stephen. I just thought we might do something a bit different today. We might pivot a bit and just actually lay it out there and say, look, why is it that I am so tetchy? Why am I so grumpy? Well, there it is. I'm fucking sick of it. Well, this year I'm going to give no quarter to these fucktards, and I don't care which side of the camp they're on.
Yes.
Because what we've got over here in our community, the so-called carnivore community, is a burgeoning group of misinformed, ill-educated buffoons at all sorts of levels of actual apparent education who are now suddenly saying putting carbs back in is indicated. No, it fucking isn't. Still.
No, it's not.
Sorry, go on. Run with that, Stephen, for a bit while I have a look at the comments.
Well, no, but yes. Well, I'll use your video with Lane, which I honestly thought, well, I've heard it all before, but let's see if he's got something new to say. And not only did he have nothing new to say, what he did say was not researched. It was ill-mannered and made no sense. And you're right. It is very tiring and it is relentless. It's always a mystery to me that they don't even try to answer the actual question. They just try to justify their position. And that's what gets me to go. So, I write a daily Substack and I do a bit of research on it. And if someone in my community claims something, I don't just go, oh yeah, I'm going to write that because that makes sense. I always research it. And sometimes what they're saying actually isn't really what the studies say, so you think, well, I'm going to point that out to them next time I see, because it's slightly more nuanced or whatever. And that's how you learn, and then they'll come out with something and it'll be the sort of flavor of the month. Was it methyl glyoxal, which is glycating agent, metabolites, and that's more glycating than glucose. But there's a 2017 study that clearly shows that acetoacetate degrades it, and that was in Cell. I've got that on my screen in case, because that is doing the rounds at the moment, that it is a terrible thing. But the keto body acetoacetate buffers methyl glyoxal via a non-enzymatic conversion during diabetic and dietary ketosis. So it's known, and that's in the Cell Chemical Biology journal. So, but they don't bother. And then when you point it out, they they do what that Mike Fave did, and they just get really nasty and aggressive, and it is relentless. And you think, but you are speaking like an authority. So if I put something up and someone in my comment said, that's not quite right, you need to look at this, I will look at it. I will absolutely look at it. And that's how you get to be consistent. And one thing, that I started up a Common Sense Carnivore community group, and I deliberately put archived videos of me 6 years ago and called it in the classroom, archive. I did a dusty video, and it's me before I dyed my hair grey, because I've started doing this dyeing thing where I'm dyeing the front grey and the sides a little bit grey. Well, I didn't used to do that, so they can see that I am younger. I didn't have a purple shirt, I didn't have a purple background. But the information 6 years ago is exactly what I'm saying now, because it's physiology, and that doesn't change much. Yes, there's additional information coming out, but it's very rare does it change absolutely everything. So I think we've just got to keep on top of it, be a bit boring, repeat the message, and just continue battle against it. But it makes me cross, but I also think, well, what else can we do? We can roll over and play dead, but that's no good. That's not going to help anyone. So you keep fighting the good fight, mate, and say what you're saying, because someone's got to do it. I mean, I literally would love to do it, the same sort of thing. I'd like to have a go at that video that Lane did with completely different points to you, because I thought,
Please do.
Yeah, all right, I might do that. I don't tend to do those sort of things, but because it's wrong information, and we should be able to point this out in a way where people go, what he's saying makes a lot of sense. Of sense. So
the other thing that is new this year, Stephen, is I've kind of brought it on myself, I guess, a bit, but I made public commentary on several videos lately suggesting that I have finally done the work and actually done some research into Bitcoin and et cetera, and now I've got a bunch of people flooding my comments with vastly ignorant, stupid comments about Bitcoin. It's the same fucking problem. You haven't done the work, people. You do not understand this. It's clear from your comments. Absolutely clear that you have not researched this. Now, you might say, well, neither of you very much. You've only been around the thing a few weeks. Yes, but I'm a quick study and I'm not dumb. So I've actually done a huge number of hours already looking into this. I understand the thing pretty damn well already. And I can tell you that the commentary that's appearing in the chat here is vastly, hugely misguided and ignorant.
Yes.
And it's disappointing.
It is. Number
one, it's disrespectful to me that a lot of you would think that I would promote something that I haven't fucking looked into. Anyway, sorry, Stephen.
Yes. One thing I would say is you get quick when you look at studies. I mean, I had to do that for my honours degree in physiology and health sciences, and the last straw was, I had to look at 5 studies and write about these studies. And the biggest thing I found was that the conclusions didn't match the data. And in fact, that's why I didn't go any further, actually. I could have done a master's and I didn't want to, because I was finding it really frustrating. But the point is, you've looked at so many studies, you can then research. When you get that muscle for research, you can, in 3 weeks, do what the average person might do in 3 months. Because you know what you're looking for, you know how the wording happens, you know how they use smoke and mirrors. It's and you see it time and time again. So, for instance, if I look at a study now, and it's really sad to say this, the first thing I do is look at the conflicts of interest,
right?
Because I genuinely think that's going to shape what I then read. So, the most classic example, and it's obvious, is breakfast cereals are really good for you, and it was sponsored by Quaker Oats. Right, okay. So with that knowledge, you know where it's going to go. So then you look for, well, how did they set it up to get the answer they wanted? And then invariably it's comparing it to a very bad breakfast.
Yeah.
You know? And then they can say, yeah, so it's not right. How many purple shirts do I have? Well, I have 3. And I have a white shirt, and I bought a check shirt in the same style, and I can't wear it because it makes the thing fuzz. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have one that's sort of bluey, purple. So yeah, that's a really hard question to ask. Yes.
This is the thing, Mark. Mark's referring to the grumpy, swearing at everybody and being pissed off act, which is only a bit of an act to be. I mean, I am, you know, at labours to say often, look, it's an act. Don't take it too seriously, but only a bit. You know, there is a genuine level of exasperation, frustration, and annoyance with stupidity. And it's not just the stupidity of those on the other side of the fence to us in the dietary wars. There's stupidity over here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very tiring. Vastly tiring. Why everybody's so fucking stupid? Not you, Mark. You're not. We love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Are you looking for questions? Or do you
I'm just kind of scanning through really, and is it? Well, we had that question about your shirts. We had the question about what plants should we eat. What question have you found, Stephen? That's worth listening to.
Well, there was one here about glycation from Mr. Beaumont.
Okay.
I think.
Oh my God. No. Oh, you better read it out for us, Stephen. I can't find it right now. The other thing is, I don't think I get to see all the questions here in my StreamYard's
really
portal. Yeah. I think YouTube fuckery extends even to that. I think that it cuts out a bit. But anyway, carry on. What's the question?
Well, the question is from Mr. Bowman 666. Question is it accurate to call exogenous carb sugar a low-grade metabolic poison, or is glycation fructation technically not a metabolic action? Do you want me to answer?
Go on, yeah, absolutely.
Well, glycation is not a metabolic action. It's a non-enzymatic chemical reaction, which is what I sort of alluded to earlier on, unlike glycosylation, which is an enzymatic process. So glycation is something that happens in the body, and it's not particularly welcome, to be really simple. Is it accurate to call exogenous carb sugar a low-grade metabolic poison? You could theoretically call it that, I suppose, because it is deemed toxic in the body. So you need about 5 grams of carbohydrate in your bloodstream at any one time, or maybe 4. We've got about 5 litres of blood. And therefore, if you was to put... Actually, I'll say this a different way. Right. Imagine a big tub, and it's got 5 litres of fluid in there, and you only need a teaspoon to make it viable for you to sit in it. All right. And someone said any more than that, I wouldn't sit in that. Okay. So that's a teaspoon. So you have 5 grams of whatever this substance is, and then someone says, well, why not put 50 grams in, which is 10 times as much? Would you put that in and then sit in there? No, you wouldn't. Well, what if they said, hey, we've got this wonderful guy, he's called insulin, and when someone is stupid enough to put 10 times as much of that stuff in there, it comes out and it saves your life, it gets rid of it very, very quickly. You would say, well, that seems a bit stupid. I'm trying to think of a very simple analogy. It's too much for the body anytime. And then you get people saying, I don't want my blood glucose to be over 100 milligrams per deciliter. Well, if you had 50 grams of this thing and you put it in 5 litres, that's 1,000 milligrams per deciliter. So that's pretty toxic in my eyes. That's a lot. I wouldn't want it in my eyes, by the way. But, it's it's a toxic load. So, yes. Poison maybe not. I don't know. I would definitely say it's toxic. But yeah, but that's Mr. Beaumont, isn't it? He likes these questions, which are quite nuanced, really.
I'd have to take your word for it because I still can't see Mr. Beaumont or his questions.
Right. Okay.
How long does it take for acne to clear up on a carnivore diet of beef, salt, and water? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. How long's a piece of string, and your mileage will vary.
Yes, I mean, that's the thing. These sort of questions, I know you want a simple answer, right? But we don't know what level of acne you have, how bad it is, how long you've had it, how your skin is right at the beginning.
Or the exact cause of it.
Or the cause, exactly. You could change your diet, and it could be something you're using in the shower, or it could be something in your environment that's actually causing the acne, or it could be your lack of sleep, or it could be your stress levels. It could be many things, you know. So if you want a very vague answer, you know, I suppose on average, when I see people that are interested in this, 2 to 3 months, but then I've got some people that have got severe problems with their skin for other reasons, and it would be longer than 2 to 3 months. And you also get this sort of first reaction when you go carnivore. You get a purging sort of within the first 4 weeks where you think, wow, this is amazing. And then it gets really bad because it actually worsens for a bit as things come out of your skin that you don't want there. So between 0 to 4 weeks, the first couple of weeks, you can think it's great, and then you can think it's really bad. Then you start seeing improvements sort of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months after that. But there's so many other things, because it could even be histamines. It could be, there's too many variables, really.
Yeah. Mr. Beaumont's question just came through just now to my feed. Isn't that incredible?
Yes.
Are you taking piss? Are you taking piss?
Go on.
SMH Gast.
I think he's playing along.
None of them. What is it that you actually should have for breakfast, Stephen?
I think there's a song about this, isn't there? Isn't there one? I don't know how it goes. I don't know the words. What was the question earlier? Is it plants?
Yeah. Plants. That's what it was. Yeah, must be. All right. 17 plus years with reactive post-bariatric hypoglycemia, symptom-free for over a year on carnivore with a fasting insulin of 2.9. Any thoughts on if I could possibly expect a reversal of my condition? Well, what's your condition? No symptoms for over a year. So what's your condition? Is that not reversal?
Yes, well, he's symptom-free. This is where numbers, because he's saying he's hypoglycemic, but has no symptoms, and his insulin I would actually use the word superb, which isn't particularly scientific. Optimal range, which I don't like, because we're still referring to normative ranges.
Exactly.
But if you've got no symptoms, then the numbers mean nothing, because hypoglycemia is only a problem if you can't function.
Yeah.
It's not a number, because I have people that are technically hypoglycemic and they're out in the woods chopping down trees and stuff, because they can operate at lower. And I can't remember the name of the researcher. It might be Cahill, who fasted people and also infused them with insulin to bring their blood glucose down to, I think it was ridiculous, something like 2 millimoles for 30 days.
Okay.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Millimoles per litre, obviously, I should say. So I think you've got a functional reversal, if you want an answer, if you've got no symptoms.
I agree. That sounds like reversal has happened. So that's when you can expect it to happen, whenever it did, a year ago.
Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations. Does it make any difference taking Stem Enhance, Plasma Flow, and Cyactive all at once compared to separating the intake of the 3 products throughout the day? No, that's fine. Take them all at once. No reason not to. Plasma Flow suggests that it should be taken away from food, and the other products suggest that they should be taken with food. That's not even important. It's just a suggestion that they have to make, because there's a very small effect reduction of the plasma flow if you take it with food. Well, whoop-de-doo. Yeah. Anyway, there it is. There's a YouTube channel called Scary Bear Attacks that I bet Ted would absolutely, I bet he would. Ted loves to see things going the way of the bear. Everything goes the way of the bear around here. Yeah.
Too much knob twiddling.
Knob twiddling, yes.
Too much of it.
I know. This causes you to go blind, I'm told. Ted's only got one eye.
Really?
Thoughts on Cmax peptide to improve brain activity, memory, etc.? That's not one I'm familiar with. Are you?
It's a synthetic. Well, peptides are a hot topic at the moment.
They are.
Yes. Synthetic one apparently increases BDNF. So what was the question? Brain activity and memory. Hang on a minute. I can't remember what the answer is. Hang on. Yes.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So what it claims to do is increase BDNF and more neurotransmitters and blood flow. Right. It's synthetic, which I'm not overly keen on. What's the question? Thoughts?
Thoughts on it? Pretty open-ended question, really.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it because
Neither do
I like actually clinical experience. I like people actually using it. So I don't know anyone firsthand that uses it.
That's not one I've even heard of personally. So there you go. All right. Sorry about that. Well,
so it's nasty really Russians. So it's nasty Russians, but they're coming up with things.
Exactly. Yes. All right. Right. David Hodge, 2009, says 66 years old and have been carnivore for over 2 years. Results: metab butt weight has stalled out at lowest that I've been able to get to, which is 20 pounds too much to me. Okay. Well,
it's a statement, really, isn't it?
It is a statement more than a question, and it sounds like you need to consult with somebody who can help you get beyond that plateau, if you like. There'll be something that's causing the plateau, and it'll probably be pretty easy to identify in an hour-long discussion, and we can probably point you in the right direction. One of the things I said I'm going to be pivoting this year, Stephen, and one of the things I'm going to do as part of my pivoting, I think, is insist that all new consultancy clients is pay me in sats, Bitcoin. I don't want that dirty fiat money. I don't want it. Those of you that are already on that deal, I'm going to honour that deal, of course, because I'm a very honourable gentleman, mostly. But new clients, I might just insist. Bitcoins or nothing. How does that sound? Yeah. Is there a body weight set point? Yes.
Go for it.
There is. Yes, absolutely. But it's very much variable, and like anything else, it's a rich tapestry with many inputs and outputs that the set point will be adjusted at any given time over time on the basis of all of those inputs. So that's why it's an hour-long discussion to tease out which one's the problem for you or which several.
Yeah. Now, I laughed because I've got a phrase that you can nick from me, because I don't call it a set point. I call it a settling point.
Yes, good. I think I will steal that. I'll have it. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Settling point.
Yes. Because your metabolic environment is not fixed, neither will your body weight be, because your body weight will change. And I'm going to use a really ridiculous example here. But if you're a sprinter or a marathon runner, your set point will be very different because of your environment, what you're doing.
Yeah.
They're not good or bad. They are appropriate. So I'd never call it a set point. I would call it a settling point. I'm at a settling point right now, which I want to change. So I'm going to change the environment, which may be extended fasting, alternate day fasting, could be anything really, So,
the good news on all of that is, while you can't change your genes, you certainly can change the environment in which you place those genes at any given time. That's within your sphere of control. Absolutely. Well, in many respects. Not much you can do about being dusted from overhead, at least not individually. Whatever. Is leaky gut an actual condition? Of course it is.
Yes, and it can be tested for.
Yeah.
There's a lactose benatol test. You see, these blood tests, everyone thinks they're amazing, but actually they're just clever. There are some people out there very clever. So you get lactulose, which is a large sugar molecule. You get mannitol, which is a small sugar molecule. And then you have a set amount, and then your urine is collected. And mannitol should be absorbed. Why? Because it's a small sugar molecule, and lactulose sort of should be excluded because of the tight junctions. Well, if you've got tight junctions, you're going to be fine. But if you've got leaky guts, then you see more lactulose as well. So really simple, and yes, provable. And also that test is really absorbable, good, because it could also tell you about absorbability of your gut. And apart from looking at is it permeable, it's also, are you able to absorb what you're eating? So it's excellent test. It's just called the L/M test, if you want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting analogy there from Polish Mike. Or is it Polish Mike? It could be either, couldn't it? It could be either. Yes.
Yes, in fact, on my watch, right, this is a true story of how you can look at a word and get it completely wrong. I started re-wearing my Apple Watch because I'm doing some biohacking numbers, because people seem to like that for my channel. And I was out and I was walking, and it said record walk. And I said to Jane, wow, it's a record walk. This is amazing. I then realized about 10 minutes later, it's telling me to record it. Record walk. So I'd gone from thinking I had a record walk to it telling me record it. So.
That's right. Record your walks. I did well. I got another record today. Why are there no records of my records?
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? Who the fuck comes to these chats to debate the merits of Bitcoin? Well, people who have listened to me over the last couple of weeks say I think people need to take this pretty seriously and pay attention to it. People that think they know more about it than I do, that make comments that show that they clearly don't. Those kind of people. Hello, Jonathan. How are you, mate? Good to see you.
Oh, I've got a live with him on Thursday.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to plug it? Yes.
Yes, of course you can. Yes, I think you should plug it. That's what she said.
Hey.
I'm here all week. Yeah. Carnivore says, I don't like Bitcoin either, but I'm not a financial advisor. Neither am I, and I haven't claimed to be. But what I can tell you for sure, Carnivore Invictus, is that neither Bitcoin nor anybody else cares what your opinion of Bitcoin is. It's going to do what it's going to do. And if you want to know what it's going to do, and you should want to know what it's going to do, you should probably check that out by listening to people who have some hope of being able to profess to be able to predict what it's likely to do and why it's likely to do that, and why the comments that are being made by people of a negative nature about the thing are people who have not done the work, because they're all easily dismissed. Just like people that know everything about heart disease that don't, or everything about human nutrition that fucking don't. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, I've said it a billion times, I'll repeat it again. Like, opinions are just like assholes, aren't they? Almost everybody's got one, at least, and it's full of shit, most likely, at any given time.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, tea on Carnivore, if you like. It's up to you. There are no rules. We're not going to ask for your card back. We're not going to name and shame you and say you did it wrong and you never really were a carnivore. You do you.
Yes.
Strictly speaking, if you're going to be 100% carnivore, then no tea. But who says you have to be 100% carnivore? I don't. I'm not one myself.
No.
Goodness gracious. Try to get between an Englishman and his tea. I'm not an Englishman, by the way, for those that think I am. I'm not. I'm a British subject, but I'm not. I'm not English. Turns out I have, of my 4 grandparents, 3 of them are from York. So I guess I am in a way, in terms of genetically. The other one's from over the way, the Green Isle.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Well, we think. He was a bit of a rogue. There's some question about that. Yes. Jonathan almost exclusively wears his own branded merch. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Maybe I should do that too. Then maybe some of you would buy my fucking merch. Do you know what? I get about $15 a month out of merch, Stephen?
Yeah, wow.
Oh.
John, there you go, Jonathan. I'm really sorry, mate. I got one of these.
There you go, look at that.
I always say State Control Britain on the live on Sunday, so I decided
State Control Britain. Do you want to go there? My word, has the UK gone to hell in a handbasket?
Oh, it has.
In the last year, most notably.
Yes, yes. And I will be. Whew. I know you're being a little bit jovial, but I genuinely feel that I could possibly go to prison this year because I am going to try to be a bit more assertive. And you can go to prison for many things that are very...
Like having an opinion in the UK.
Having an opinion, absolutely, yes.
Those aren't okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am being a bit jovial, but I'm also very, very sad, very, very angry, genuinely, never mind the act, what the current British Prime Minister and his cronies are doing to the great nation, or the formerly great nation of the United Kingdom, is absolutely unconscionable. That man is an absolute traitor.
Yep. And
a clear, present, and immediate risk to national security. His comments lately regarding a certain Egyptian are tantamount to treason, frankly. And His Majesty, King Charles III, has been absolutely destitute and errant in his responsibility to take care of it. That is his role. Nothing else. His role is to sack a prime minister that needs sacking and to dissolve a government that needs dissolving. It needs doing, and it's time he did it. I think that's clear enough. There you go. That saves you saying it, Stephen.
Yeah. They're cancelling elections. I mean, this is the thing. We're not living...
Yeah, cancelling elections. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cancelling people's opinions and ability to have them. Arresting old grandmothers for making comments of a hurty nature on face pages or wherever else.
Yep.
Letting rapists and murderers walk free because, well, that's just their culture.
Yep.
You know, what the hell's going on? Frankly.
Right. Should we get back to being light entertainment?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. In the current year, we shall have to explain to people that most of what they believe was never even a little bit true. That's right. Yeah.
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. That's what I'm talking about there, Stephen.
Yeah. And Phil's one of the good guys, by the way. Great guy.
Awesome.
Hi, Phil. Thank you
for
the
Phil.
help.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, like we're not seeing all the questions. Well, I'm not. I know I'm not. Because there are people reacting to things that others have said in the chat that I'm not seeing. So, interesting.
Well, that's what I was trying to allude to. I know that my YouTube is being shadow banned. I know that my Substack was recently, because I get on average about 2,500 views on every article. I write a daily article. I think that's quite a good viewership. And I wrote something that was a little bit anti the narrative. And the very next day, I had 80 views on my next article. Well, that's just too coincidental.
Yeah,
to not be something.
You've upset Al Gore in his rhythms.
Yeah, exactly.
Never upset Al Gore in his rhythms. Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Come on, let's get some questions. Do you want me to help?
Yes, come on, where's your questions? I know I've been ranting, and so that kind of shuts down the questions, but here we go, here's a question. Does it make any difference we've had that one, haven't we? Right.
Yeah.
That still doesn't. Yeah, that's my fault probably.
Well,
there we go. How many grams of protein can an adult male absorb at one time? Is it 20 grams, 40 grams or more? Go on, Steve.
More, basically.
Yeah.
And this is proven time and time again. The most recent, and I have done a Substack about it, by the way, the ukcarnivore.substack.com. All these myths, you just have to keep fighting against them, as we said earlier. There are studies where even 100 grams of protein was used, and that study said that not only is it protein synthesis that you're seeing, but other things which are protective. So it's not like 20 grams and 40 grams is double that for protein synthesis, and 80 grams is double that. Yes, you still get this protein synthesis increases, but you get other things happening as well, other signals. So the last study I looked at literally concluded, I hate saying literally, sorry, concluded that it actually said it seems like there is no upper limit to protein. Now, I agree with this. If you look at the common sense, we have satiety signals. And the protein leverage theory seems to lean towards the fact that your body will continually ask you to eat if you don't give it enough protein.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be restricting 20, 40. Yes, you can do the grams per ideal body weight thing when you start. But that is always way more than 40. Always. Because if you want to weigh 140 pounds, you should be having 140 grams of protein. Have it in one meal a day. Which is difficult for some people, but good question, no?
It was, yes. Awesome. Here's another good question. Why is it that people in the carnivore space refer to the metabolic processes we have evolved as a stress on the organs? For example, a carnivore coach stated that processing protein stressed the liver. No, it doesn't.
No.
Who the hell told you that? Name this person. They never really were a carnivore coach, and they did it wrong.
I would say I normally hear that from the anti-keto, anti-low carb community.
Yeah.
They're always calling things stressful. Now, apparently, glucagon is a stress hormone. They're idiots, basically.
Right. Absolutely.
The body is designed to do these things,
Yeah. Yeah. Almond cheese? Phil? Almond cheese? What do you want almond cheese for? Huh? I don't know. I like it. Yeah, in my native nation, well, the one outside the borders of the independent sovereign nation of Pimbatia,
right?
A really big thing is to have pies with what we call mince, but Americans call ground beef, and cheese. It's called a mince and cheese pie. Funnily enough, that's very imaginative, isn't it, to call it that?
Yes.
And I was in a pie shop in Yorkshire one day when I was in the UK. And I was like, have you got any mince and cheese pies? I was just fresh off the plane, I was, didn't know any better. Bloke's like, Peter! Do you hear that? Lad wants cheese in his pie.
He what? He wants cheese in pie?
Aye, cheese in pie! They had a good laugh. Yeah. Anyway, apparently cheese and pies are not the thing over there.
Oh, man.
But then you see some of the things that Yorkshire folk do eat, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not ham and cheese for breakfast. No, that's not how the song goes.
I've got a joke for you, actually. How do you know a northern girl is enjoying sex? She puts her pie down.
He's there all week. Yeah, good. I used to be married to one of those. Not a northern girl, not a pie. Yeah. Right. Jonathan is consuming 400 grams of protein per day at the moment with no changes in stool mass versus 350 grams. So he'd guess all of it is being absorbed. It's specific. Well, yes, sure, Jonathan, but there are lots of ins and outs to the final makeup and mass of the stools, isn't there? But, I mean, absolutely fine. Yep, okay. It's an indication. Yeah, cool. Yes.
Do you want me to talk in between?
Absolutely. You fill your boots while I'm looking for questions. Yeah.
Well, I went off carnivore a little bit by having a beef pie in Olverton, and Olverton was a surprise trip that Jane recommended to go to the Laurel and Hardy Museum. Sorry,
All
I'm
right,
61.
yeah.
I love Laurel and Hardy, and to actually see their movies in a cinema was amazing. But what made it even better was it's a right old northern place where they actually make proper meat pies that are bursting full of meat. Oh my word, it was fantastic. Fantastic day.
Lovely. Did you eat the pastry?
I did, because
Oh, Jesus, hand your card in, Stephen.
I just could not.
You
I mean, it was
not,
an old-fashioned place, and I just wanted to support them, and it was amazing. It was very
nothing
thin.
like a proper pie, is there?
Yeah, but it was super thin pastry. It wasn't this bloody doughy rubbish.
Oh, really?
It was really nice. Oh man.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Properly made.
Yeah. Do you read books? Do you read books?
We've got ourselves a reader. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't this a Bill Hicks joke, isn't it? Do you remember that? Do you know Bill Hicks? Yeah. Yeah. The waffle waitress said to Bill Hicks, because he was reading a book in between his gigs, "What are you reading a book for?" And he said, "So I don't become a waffle waitress."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the most recent book. I'll go and get. Hang on.
Cool. While he's doing that, I'll tell you what I like to read. I like science fiction, and if it's mixed with comedy, that's good too. So I like Douglas Adams, etc. What do you got there? The last 2 million years. Good.
Yes, a Reader's Digest thing. I sadly
is that a rip snorter, or, a laugh a minute rip snorter? Is that one? The last 2 million years?
It's a bit long.
That's what she said.
I actually just like facts and old books because they actually have the facts in. They're not full of woke signalling.
I like facts too. That's why we don't get clicks, Stephen, because we like facts.
Yes, that's the point of this thing, isn't it? That many people are doing clicks over facts. But I actually enjoy that. I like autobiographies as well. I'm very fascinated by autobiographies. But I find that this job bleeds over into it. So, say Phil Collins, I was reading his autobiography. He has a problem with his hand. He goes and gets some surgery, and I'm like, well, that will never work, And Michael J. Fox, Michael J. Fox, talking about his Parkinson's, and every time he's talking about his medical procedures, I'm thinking, oh my word, that's not going to work. So a lot of the celebrities, they have all this money and have loads of medical procedures, and because it's an autobiography, that they tell you the beginnings of it, and already I'm thinking, right, I'm trying not to think about work, but I can see where this is going to go and how it's going to end, and it's not going to end well. But I do enjoy that. If I want fantasy, I would prefer a movie. Read.
Okay. Yeah. I was just saying I enjoy Douglas Adams.
Oh yes. Yes.
I enjoy his works.
Slightly Bartfast.
Yes. I also, shameful, I know, but I'm a huge fan of Red Dwarf.
Oh yeah.
I think Red Dwarf is one of the funniest programs that's been going around in the last 20, 30 years. It's been 30 years, hasn't it? That Red Dwarf's been around.
Wasn't it? Hologram, and yes, that was very good.
Yes, very good indeed. So I read all the series of books there. But in terms of the science fiction that isn't comedy based, you can't go past Frank Herbert, can you?
Now, I haven't read a Frank Herbert. I've read Isaac
Asimov.
Yeah, I need to.
Wow, you haven't read Dune?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you must.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit long.
Yes.
That's what she said, of course. Yeah. All right. Largely 100% carnivore for 5 years, many health improvements, massive fat loss, good job, but wondering at age 54 what I could do to improve erection quality. And Cialis doesn't do it. That's good, because neither one of us was going to say take Cialis. At least I wasn't. And I know Stephen wasn't going to say that either. What are you going to say, though?
Well, I mean, if you've got that medication, it's supposed to increase your blood flow. So it could be when you're taking it, because many people don't take it at the right time. I I think this way of eating is about the best thing for that particular issue. And I mean that medication does tend to work.
Yeah.
So I would say just keep doing what you're doing. I know 5 years is a long time. There might be something else that you're doing that isn't helping.
Yes, I was going to say absolutely that, it might not be that the problem is physical. It might well be psychosomatic or psychological.
It happens to the best.
Thought about that?
Yeah.
And not to me. It's never happened to me.
Well, it happened to me, and this is a slightly sort of sad story. After my mum died at 23. Now, I was pretty virile at that point, and I also lost a girlfriend to breast cancer. And then after that, I had the next girlfriend. It was quite a hard relationship to get through because that was lacking. This is really true, by the way. I went to see a consultant. His name was Mr. or Dr. Dickman, right? That was true.
Seriously.
So I said, I'm not even going to bother with the name. And he had quite a good sense of humor. And he just said, the grief and the trauma of losing your second parent and also losing a girlfriend, you're not ready for it, but time's great healer.
Yeah.
And that subsequently was true. So a little bit of a sad thing to say, but so the point I'm making is at 23, I'd also just done a natural bodybuilding tournament. So I looked great, but my private life was, in a mess. And bottom line was I didn't feel horny, just couldn't get that way. So
well, that's understandable based on the story that you've given us there.
Yeah. So, but the point is,
at all.
Yeah, but it's very extreme. But also, it gets the point across that it can be other things outside of your life that cause that problem. And if you have a failure to launch once, then you get anxious that it's going to happen again. So
yes, okay, yeah. Will the Randall cycle only kick in when you eat more than what your cells need at the moment? That's nearly right. Nearly. So close. Each individual cell of your body has its own set of the mechanics, the machinery. Each cell has its own set of sliders. They're not even switches. They're sliders. They're faders. So it's not how much you eat. It's what's in your bloodstream at the time that dictates how that cell will react at that time, based on also what's in that cell at the time, if that makes sense. And as such, it's a cell-by-cell thing, but obviously the entire organ, the entire tissue, the entire organism is made up of individual cells. So the net effect of the various levels of the various sliders in each individual cell is the cause of the effective net set of sliders for the whole body. Another thing Mike Faven, his ridiculous imbecilic mate, Jay whatever his name is, Jay Feldman, doesn't know. Let me turn this alarm off.
I thought it was the ice cream man. I was going to go ice cream.
Ice cream! Ice cream, you scream, we all scream. Yeah, no, that's my alarm that tells me to wake up at 8 in the morning.
Oh, right.
An hour ago.
It's
8 in the morning now. It's 8 in the morning now, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I've been angry since, well, I was going to say since 7 o'clock when we came online. No, not really. I was awake at 4 a.m. and I was already pissed off. No, I'm kidding. Life isn't that bad, but yes, there are definitely some things going on in the world that are infuriating if you actually give them any attention.
Well, one day we'll have a private chat about it, maybe.
Maybe.
Get it off your chest.
That's what she said. Humans have been raising cattle for less time than they've been growing plants. Absolute, utter fucking nonsense. Who told you that? Dairy may or may not be contraindicated, but adult humans drinking milk designed to grow baby cows is probably not indicated. Who told you that?
12,500 years or 12,700 years is the agricultural sort of beginnings, isn't it, after the Younger Dryas? But we know that cattle farming and milk production is, I think, even 700,000 years ago.
Yeah,
from our ancestors, and it's quite a big difference.
Yeah. Look, the effect of milk on any given human body is very much an individual thing. It seems like a fair proportion of humans do not do well on bovine milk. And I will caveat that by saying a large portion of people do not seem to do well on pasteurized bovine milk. And if you're one of those people, absolutely avoid it. Sure.
I'll look it up in my 2 million years book. It's bound to be.
There you go. Yeah, it's bound to be. In the beginning, something, I don't know. There was nothing, and then there was something. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right.
Well, I'm glad you've woken up.
It's been one of those weeks already. And it's only Wednesday here. Wednesday morning.
It's Tuesday night. So, you're speaking to me from the future.
That's right. So trust me, I know what's going to happen.
I feel like Marty.
I know what's going to happen.
It's great.
Marty, we've got to do something about your kids. Yeah.
Oh, let's get into the next question. Unless you've got to go. I mean, I'm happy.
No, I'm fine if you're fine. Yeah, I thought I'd leave it to you to tell me when you needed to go. Please, sir, I need to go. No, I'm good. What makes exercise, not cardio, high-intensity weight training, beneficial for health and longevity?
Good question. Well,
what makes it beneficial? Many things. Go on, Stephen.
Well, motion is lotion. That's corny, isn't it? But
okay.
if you don't move, then that's not good. That's a really simple thing. So when your grandma said, if you don't use it, you lose it, that's really true. So just moving, you've got to do all those things. Just one example, and I think in the diabetic world, so I was a diabetes and obesity specialist in the high carb era of my life, which was, started 16 years ago now. So for the first 4 years, I was doing all the wrong nutritional advice, but I still got some results from people that took up exercise. And the physiology of that, and but I know you do this better than me, but I'll give you my take on it, is the cell has a thing, there's 14 glucose transporters, of which 13 are not insulin dependent, but one is, which is the GLUT4, and many people draw it as if it's on the cell membrane, but actually it's not. It's in a little vesicle, and then when the body does things, like it starts contracting a muscle, or you start moving, or it needs more energy, it translocates to the membrane, and you can uptake more glucose, and it improves your insulin sensitivity. Bad word, but anyway, it improves you. So these people with the diabetic problems, once they started exercising, were eliciting that response, that one physiological mechanism which we do definitely know. They were making the GLUT4 translocate onto the membrane, and therefore there was more take up of the glucose, which is great because it brings their blood glucose down, but it's still appropriate for the cell because you're upgrading the activity of that person. So it's hunky-dory. So that worked. That really worked. Okay. Here's the downside. Because it was carbs, they still had to be mindful not to eat more than straight after. So if they did that, if they kept their volume of food the same, or they ate the same basically, but included exercise, they did really well. So that would be one of the reasons why your health improves, and the longevity is because less glycation, for instance. So this
glycosylation, isn't it, Stephen?
Yes, because the glucose is being utilized, and so you're basically stopping your collagen having cross bridges and being dysregulated. So the glucose that you are using isn't being used to glycate stuff. It's actually being used for things. That's trying to be very basic, but there's millions of reasons why it's good. You could get into the fact if you go into the gym, it's social, you're out, you're not sitting on this. It's what you're not doing. So you're not sitting on the sofa, eating a hot dog and drinking Coke and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's millions
there are many physiological adaptations to exercise, which would seem on the face of it to be entirely indicated for one's affect. Yeah. It almost sounded like you said if you exercise more, you'll be less insulin resistant, Stephen.
No.
You'll be less insulin resistant. Yeah. Okay. Good. So Nature Nate Raw is one of these people who has not done the work to understand what Bitcoin is, how it works, why it will work. But and while we're on it, by the way, who is just the government that you're referring to? Who is the government? And how is it that they're going to stop this thing from happening? Exactly. Interesting. Do the work, I would suggest, Nature Nate Raw, because you haven't done. Okay. Yes.
Can I ask you a favour?
Please, yes.
Could you put my Sorul link up?
Oh, yes. I haven't changed it. I usually do automatically, don't I? That's quite right. Yes, I'll do that right this very minute. I'll do that now, and you can talk amongst yourselves.
If you're in the UK, you can get the hardcore carnivore stimulus.
That's right. You can also get it in New Zealand and Australia, but not anywhere else just yet. Not anywhere else just yet. Let me just change that. Spell it right might be a better approach. It'll work a lot better if I spell it right.
I think
there we go. There we go. Look at that. Okay, and look at that. It's amazing what you can do with technology, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
No
by the way, my doggy. If people went to the vets this morning, we thought the story would be finished, but no, he's nearly fixed. But they want him to have a bandage on for a little bit longer, just for safety's sake.
All right. Still, it's remarkable that he's healed up nicely despite his horrific experiences.
Yes. It was a savage attack.
Yes. Almost as savage as the attack I launched on Richard Burgess, perhaps.
When was this?
When we had that debate, which he finally fronted up for after 4.5 years of dodging me.
Oh, yes.
Only to tell me that he knew more about science than me because, you see, he could lift 415 pounds, you see.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, he won then, didn't he?
Absolutely. There it was right there. That was the end of it.
Yes.
He also told me that absolutely in the Mendelian so-called randomization studies, they absolutely did measure everybody's LDL.
Yeah, which they don't.
Even though I sort of said to him on multiple occasions, that's fine, Richard, awesome. Would you like to point to the section in the methods that describes the method by which that was done? Or they did. No, just saying they did, Richard, doesn't make it true. They didn't. Because if you actually read the methods, you will have understood that not only did they not measure it, it wasn't even estimated using the usual technique. What they did is they arbitrarily decided what the people's LDL level was on the basis of the SNPs that they possessed, i.e. it was a what's the word? A self-proving thing. They didn't measure anybody's LDL, not even once, or estimate it.
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Thank you, Stephen. It's early in the morning for young men such as myself. Right. Can high insulin in the blood after eating sugar be a signal for adult stem cells to become adipose tissue fat cells? The process by which adult stem cells are signaled to bind to various tissues and become tissues of that kind is vastly complex, involving a lot of cell-to-cell signaling. I'm not suggesting that sugar is not one of those signals, but I don't believe it to be a primary one.
You've got a question from Mr. Bowman 666,
Have I?
which is above that. It's a bit earlier, and it's
right. Let's see if it's here. Is there a natural action of the blood that clears up fibrin and plasma flow increases this, or does this only happen when they're taken 1 week in?
Can we answer?
There is a process.
Yeah.
Go on. You go, Stephen. Well, this is your area.
And I'll hand over to you when you get to the plasma flow. Yes.
All right.
The reason I wanted to answer it is because the body does this all the time. If it's going to do one thing, it will also do the opposite, because that's homeostasis or hemostasis. So if there is something that causes clotting, so something like fibrin, there will be something that does a clot dissolving thing, fibrinolysis, which I hate saying. But anyway, anything with lysis on the end means it's
lysis.
Been cut. So yes. So I think just generally as an educational point, if the body does one thing, like build something up, it will also be able to break it down, because that's homeostasis. And it's a big thing that I'm trying to get people to understand. It doesn't just raise cortisol, because cortisol is self-regulating. So when cortisol gets to a level, it limits itself and then it reduces because it has a function. That's it. So I'm going to hand over to you now to talk about plasma flow. Will that increase?
All right, plasma flow. Very good. Okay, yes, plasma flow. There it is. It's an enzyme-based preparation that specifically attacks fibrin. So it supports the body's natural processes of breaking down fibrin and increases the rate at which the body can do that, which is indicated because modern Western lifestyles are vastly inflammatory at large, meaning that most people have a vast overplus of fibrin building up in their microvasculature, which is contraindicated. There you go. That's what it does. It's an enzyme that breaks it down directly. Yeah.
Yes. And cool. we could hook back to that question about longevity, because tissue plasminogen activator, TPA, small TPA in capitals, is increased by exercise. You see, so all of this is all joined up. It's almost like the body knows what it's doing.
I know, it's incredible, isn't it, to think that the body might actually, after at least 3,800 million years of evolution, that it might have one or two clues about what it's doing.
Yes.
But if you eat meat, that will dissolve your bones, apparently, according to James DeNicoli No Nuts.
Yes. Every time you say something that upsets me, I'm going to just bow my head now.
Yeah. If you eat nothing but meat, that will cause you to become acidic and your bones will dissolve, according to that absolute fucking imbecile.
Yeah, that's my reaction to.
Oh, my God. Anyway, Richard Smith and I will be dealing with that in a few weeks, because he's been email spam bombing both of us to the point where I've actually blocked him now. I'm sick of hearing his fucking nonsense. Because number one, he thinks that you litigate a disagreement about science by citation bombing someone with citations that don't prove your point. Just the volume of citations wins the argument, apparently, in a private email discussion that no one else is going to see anyway. So he doesn't even get to beat his chest publicly. And then when he's challenged to publicly front up on camera, live on camera, James DeNicoli No Nuts, to come and actually litigate this, come and face me like a man, and let's talk about this, and I will basically tear you 7 new assholes because you've got no fucking idea what you're talking about, patently. He runs away with shit in his pants. But he still wants to keep email bombing, so I've blocked him. Anyway, but he's also been doing the same to Richard Smith, so we thought we'd basically tag team the boy, as it were. Yeah. All right. So, right, that's the fibrin question sorted. Good. Good. Do I think raw dairy should be legal to sell for human consumption? Of course. I mean, the powers that be that have banned this to say, well, it's for your safety. It is for your safety that we can't sell you that. And yet, I can go down the corner when I'm in town and I can buy cigarettes and alcohol anytime I want. The government allows that. I'm confused. I wish I wasn't so stupid. Okay, so it's for my safety that I can't have raw dairy, but I can pour alcohol into my system and smoke cigarettes all I want to.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Jonathan's going to be Mr. Britain.
Is he?
Well, that's what he says he's going for.
Well, that's the way to do it, is to be positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of it, isn't it? I mean, definitely with sports and anything where you want to achieve, you've got to be positive.
Yeah. What about XRP ? Okay, let me make it pretty clear. There are Bitcoins and shitcoins. That's it. Ethereum is the one possible exception to that rule. Okay? Simple. There are many wallets for Bitcoins. Which one do you use? I have 2 cold wallets that I have got so far. One is a Trezor Safe 7, and the other one is a Tangem card, 3-card set. There you go. They're the cold wallets. And then you can get any number of different hot wallets as well for smaller amounts of petty amount of Bitcoin that you're happy to keep in a less secure environment than your cold wallet. There you go. And neither of those companies pay me any money. Maybe they should, because I've just promoted their products by saying I use them. There we go. Can high insulin in the blood after eating sugar be a signal for... Oh, we've had that.
Yeah, I thought you had. I do need to go in a minute. So.
All right. In a minute?
Yeah.
All right.
Why are you laughing? What have I said?
Because suddenly it's 1 minute. Oh! Do we need to sum up? Yeah.
No, I've just realised I've got to go at 7:30. I've console at 7:30,
right.
and it's 19:18.
So in a few minutes.
It's 19:18. Right. I was being colloquial. I do apologise.
I understand now.
You're
it's because I'm so stupid. It's because I'm so stupid, Stephen. I'm very, very easily confused. Yeah, I don't kowtow to the great academic. You see.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's for another day. So, should we start winding up?
Well, you've wound me up.
Have I? Good. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's been a pleasure. It's always a laugh, and I think we're booked in for 2 weeks' time, aren't you?
Oh, good. Love it. I always like doing live streams with my good friend Coach Stephen.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going to bother you every single month.
Do I look bothered?
Am I bothered?
Yeah, but do I look bothered? Do I look bothered? All right, that's enough of that. Yes, if state-controlled Britain locks up Coach Stephen, I will send him food packages. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
You'll get food packages so that you don't have to eat the prison slop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next question, please. Well, no further questions. I don't know what we want to do. One more?
Here we go. What makes... Oh my God!
We've done that one.
I
think this actually might be a problem with the software, because I've noticed a few questions coming up twice.
Yeah,
worded the same.
So that does happen from time to time. That we don't get to see all the questions, and we get to see some of them more than once. Yeah. Anyway, there it is. I think we should wind up. Really, I think we've done enough damage for one day, haven't we?
Well, I think there's a question you might want to answer, Phil Greeley.
Okay.
Oh, look, there's one. Stranger Things.
Have I watched Stranger Things? I have, yes.
Is it any good? I've never watched it.
Give it a go, see what you think. It's very silly. Very silly indeed, but if you're into that sort of thing. It's like a comedy, but I don't think it's trying to be. It's that kind of silly. Anyway, what's the question from Phil?
I will read it to you, because I think this is your speciality.
All right.
Does the Randall cycle, well, I could answer, but you'll be better, I think. Does the Randall cycle only operate at the cell's membrane or also at the mitochondria's outer membrane once substrate enters the cell? Great question.
Yeah, it is a good question. The Randall cycle, the thing that we parsimoniously refer to as the Randall cycle, is ostensibly and in effect an affect that we can view from bird's eye level, but it operates in multiple different loci within the embedded structure of the various parts of the metabolic machinery within cells at various membranes and also in various cell pools as well. It's not all membrane bound. Okay, so there's it's a very complex set of interactions involving a number of enzymes, either free-floating or membrane-bound, at various different points in the cell, starting, if you like, I'm using the word starting, not necessarily meaning that's the beginning, but I'm saying starting the list with on the cell membrane, in the cell cytosol, on the mitochondrial membrane, and within the mitochondrial matrix as well. There are various aspects of the thing functioning there. Yep. Happy with that?
Well, I would imagine Phil was happy with that because he likes all his answers.
Yeah, good. We love it when we have happy. Yeah, that's right. We love it when we have happy customers, don't we?
Yes. I know Phil, and he's great guy. And he's the thing is, I suppose the Randall cycle, which isn't a cycle as you say, can be overcomplicated by many people.
Yes.
It is relatively simple in the right hands, I think.
Yeah, in the right hands. And that's not Mike Fave. Why would Mike Fave say that low carb causes diabetic high blood sugar? Because Mike Fave is a fucking imbecile who does not understand the Randall cycle and its integrated workings within a cell. Mike Fave is a registered nurse who should be cleaning the bedpans, who has spent a little bit of time reductively studying various aspects of cell metabolism without ever putting them together and understanding how they work together. No surprise from somebody involved in the allopathic community in any way. But there you go.
Yeah, but it's such an obvious thing, isn't it? If you've got blood glucose and it goes up, eating glucose is probably the thing that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that would seem to be pretty unassailable logic, wouldn't it?
Yes. I can't see why they can't see that. Anyway.
It's incredible. Yeah.
And also, you could look at it the other way. People with type 2 diabetes remove carbohydrates and see their problems resolve.
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen either, would it?
No.
Yeah.
No. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you all. There's nothing you can do about it. We hope it's been useful information. Hopefully we've had some fun along the way. Hopefully you have been able to get alongside some of the concepts that we've been sharing, both in terms of science and also in terms of politics, economics, etc. There will be a bit of a pivot this year. I think I will be broadening my horizons because, as I was alluding to right back at the beginning, I'm actually as bored as fuck with this. I really am. I'm absolutely
I'm so sorry,
bored.
mate. I'm so sorry. Oh, an hour and a half with me, and sorry.
It's not that I'm bored of you, Stephen. I'm bored to the back teeth of the. Yeah, no, I'm bored to the back teeth of the stupidity.
Well, we just added it.
Yeah.
Mike Fave. Yeah, just add it.
Mike Fave, there it is. There's an example. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, when people say, why would Mike Fave say such and such? I mean, like, while I'll say, well, the reason Mike Fave says that is because Mike Fave is an imbecile, what I also desperately want to say to the person that asked me that question is, why in the purple fuck are you listening to anything Mike fucking Fave has to say? Why are you doing that? People. Trust me, I am the science. I'm safe and effective, me, and don't question the science.
I get
I'm
sent
joking.
stuff to watch, and I find it so hard because people are sending
That's what she
it.
said.
Yeah, and you know, it's just it's difficult, and I had a little to and fro with one person. I said, look, I got 16 minutes into it and I couldn't watch anymore. And they're like, well, how are you ever going to have your mind changed if you don't watch it all? I said, look, within 16 minutes, there was at least 10 fallacies that are provably wrong. But this guy's been a plant eater for 17 years and he's looking great. And I just said, look, I'm really sorry, I can't do it. But I do try to watch everything. And I'm with you, Bart. It's very difficult to watch it all the way through. And in fact, many of them are difficult to watch for a minute because they start with such a terrible premise. So I've got a joke for you. Should we leave with the joke?
Let's finish with the joke, yeah.
Okay, so this guy goes to the doctor and he says, I'm having a problem with my wife. I can't get it up at the moment. And the doctor says, well, we got Viagra. And he says, no, I've heard there's some side effects with Viagra. Northern bloke he was. I should do the northern accent. And the doctor says, well, this Viagra, this is a bit different. All you've got to do is take it. There are no side effects as long as you say 1, 2, 3 up. And once you say 1, 2, 3 up, it will be up. That's all you got to do. 1, 2, 3. It's all right. Oh, okay. And he said, well, hang on a minute. So that makes it go up. What makes it go down then? And he says, all you got to do is say 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. And it go down. He thinks, right, okay. So he gets home and he says to his wife, this is magic, this. Oh, tonight's the night, love. I can't wait to get into bed. It's going to be great. After all this time, it's not been so good, but tonight's going to be the night. So they get into bed and he goes, 1, 2, 3 up. And she goes, what are you saying 1, 2, 3 for?
Yes.
Sorry.
Very good. All right. Well, we'll let you escape, but not before we hear the song about what you should have for breakfast.
Go on, let's do it.
Go on then. Steak and eggs and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for breakfast. Delicious. Eggs and steak and steak and eggs. Just making sure you heard. I think they got it, Ted. Did they get it? You go and twirl the knobs. Good boy. Hit the button, Ted. It's not hard.
Hey. Will it ever end?
That's what she said. All right. Thanks, guys. Join us next time when someone will be wrong on interwebs, and it'll probably be James to Nicola Antonio again. Or some other equally offensive like Lame Norton or someone like that. All right. See you then. Ciao for now. Bye.
Bye.